Hello, and welcome to Florida NewsMakers. I'm Michelle Ubben, and I'm here today with Ed Moore, President of the Independent Colleges and Universities of Florida. Ed, welcome.
Oh, thank you. It's good to be here.
Good to have you here. Ed, you represent 31 independent colleges and universities in Florida. We know that Florida has a strong public college and university system. What's the particular role that the independents play in Florida?
Very broad. We like I say, we have 31 different institutions, probably about 145 different sites around Florida. Extremely diverse programs. Anybody wants to look in more detail can go to ICUF.org, ICUF.org. We produce about 30% of the advanced degrees in Florida, about a quarter of the baccalaureate degrees, 40% of the master's degrees in Florida, 30% of the doctorates, and 52, not to get that specific, but 52% of the first professional, doctors, lawyers, chemists, those kinds of things. So an integral role in higher ed in Florida.
So I have to ask you this question. A couple of years ago, Newsweek, when it was still being published, ran a very provocative cover story that said, "Is college a lousy investment?" And that's generated quite a conversation. Mm-hmm. How would you answer that question to a parent or a student considering college today?
As the father of four myself, all four went to college. One ended up going to law school. One is a doctor. Yeah, college does have value. There's a lot of talk about how many people with degrees right now are underemployed or in different fields. We just had the worst recession that we've had probably since the Depression. It's not to be unexpected that not a lot of jobs were opening. We're just beginning to see recovery. So when people aren't leaving, people aren't retiring like they used to, so you don't bump down the ladder and there's vacancies. Yeah, that's going to happen. But I think long term, all the data shows that having a college degree, you're going to earn more, you're going to be happier, you're going to have more diverse experiences in your life. It's worth doing. It's that most important ticket on the ladder of success, I think.
We also know that the amount of student debt that that people are carrying is proving to be a real economic problem. What do we do about that, and how much of a problem do you see that as being?
The default end of it is where I would have the greatest concern. In various sectors, my sector, the private and not-for-profit, nationally has the best repayment record, the least amount of defaults, followed by the public state university systems. Then the community college debts is higher than it should be, and the for-profit is where the huge amounts of unpaid debt. It's going to follow those people forever. I mean, my caution to viewers would be, make sure if you're going to incur debt that it's for a very good purpose. 62% of our graduates here in Florida come out with degrees in education, business, healthcare, or STEM. 62% of them. They're going to be employed, whether they're employed in Florida or another state, and they're going to earn reasonable salaries coming right out of the box. So again, there is value to the degree and tremendous value in getting there. And if you have to borrow to do it, just be real prudent in how you borrow.
So we've seen changes in how higher education is delivered. Do you ever envision a future where a student gets most of their college education online? Some
students will. About 21% of our 160,000 or so students are in online degree programs. Our ICUF schools actually have 384 fully online degree programs. That's a pretty significant number. So yeah, there is a place for online education. But for most students, the traditional kind of students, the 18 to 24-year-olds, they're going to want to go the same path that their parents did and go to the school and do that. It's a tool. It's a tool to expand access, reach to communities where there might not be a higher ed institution that's within driving reach. It's a way to do that. And largely, around a quarter of our students now are over 25, coming back for a different degree or a change of career. Online is a very useful tool for that as well.
So Ed, one final question for you. I've heard that you are a historian of presidential politics.
Yeah, just hobby, yeah.
And I wonder if you look into your crystal ball, what you see in the future of presidential politics, and can we look forward to a little less rancor, a little more cooperation across party lines?
One can only hope. We just have to demand that. I think the voters are a little lax in what they expect out of politicians, and they accept the negative. As soon as negative campaigning stops working, politicians will stop using it. But as long as it's working, they're going to do that. Presidential-wise, I think the Republican side again is going to be a horse race. I'd love to see our native son, adopted native son, I guess, Jeb Bush, get in the mix, mainly because he's a policy guy and is sincere and focused. I think he would change, even if he wasn't successful, he'd change the debate and the discussion in running. On the Democrat side, I think it's going to be more of a horse race than most people give credit to. People think Hillary Clinton is a foregone conclusion, but there are other strong candidates out there that I think are going to say, no, I think it's my turn now, or they'll take a shot. Elizabeth Warren's already making a lot of noise. For people that are observers of the process, it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Yeah.
Never a dull moment.
Never, yeah.
Well, Ed, thank you so much for being with us today, and thank you for joining us. Until next time, this is Florida Newsmakers.